In this video we'll show how you can define dynamic styles and classes for items on a control bar. So you can see here we have a simple control bar with two buttons, and I'd like to dynamically apply a style of red text to button number 2. So I'm going to click this button there, and you can see now that button 2 has red text. And then if I press the button again, the red text goes back to the default white text. So let's take a look now at how this was done. So if we go now into the control bar builder and we look at button number 2, we can see that the button style has been set to color red, but the button style itself has been wrapped in a client-side templating directive. So you can see here it says star if data 1, then color red, and then star end if. So star if is a client-side templating directive, and then star end if is the end of that directive. So the style that we're applying, color red, is only going to be applied if the data object, data 1, is true. So let's go now and take a look at where the data objects are defined. So there's data. You can see here we've defined a data object called data 1, and we want it to have an initial value of false, but we want it to be a JavaScript logical value as opposed to a string. So therefore we prefix the word false with curly bracket JavaScript. So now initially when we first render the component, data 1 is false, and therefore the if condition is false, and therefore the style is not applied, so the button does not have red text. But now when we press this button over here, you can see that the text goes red. So let's go look at that button. So if we look at this button, we can see that we're going to first get a pointer to the control bar, and then if we're successful, so if CBOBJ is not false, then we're going to read the value of the data 1 data object. So that's going to be stored in CBOBJ.data, which is the collection of all the data objects. So that's going to give us the value of that variable. And then we're going to basically just reverse the value and then update the value of the data object. So we're going to set data.data1 to the opposite of its original value, and then we just call the refresh on the control bar to cause the control bar to re-render. So using this technique, we've been able to apply a dynamic style to an item in the control bar. But the same technique can also be used for class names. So if instead of applying an inline style of color red to this button, I wanted to apply a class name, I could use the exact same technique over here to apply a dynamic class name. So what we've shown in this video is how, using the client-side templating directives, you've got very powerful options for dynamically styling the items in a control bar. Thanks very much for watching.